Hi everyone, and today I'll be reading a Neuvillette listener by me. I know there has been a lot of Neuvillette lately, but I promise I will give attention to others soon. Without further ado, let's get into it. Neuvillette liked to take strolls on the beach. It was wonderful, and his heart, in the end, was part of the seas and oceans. Water was a crucial part of him, and he felt like he was truly whole whenever he was immersed in it. But ever since becoming the Eudex of Fontaine, and even more so after inheriting all of his draconic powers, and Farina stepping down from her role, it was not very pleasant for him, ruling alone, and there was barely any time. So the idea of immersing himself in the waters of Fontaine and having that much free time was something of a fantasy, for the most part. So sometimes he would just limit himself to strolls to take the exhausting matters off of his mind. But today of all days, there seemed to be something strange about the waters, and he did not know what it could be. And that's why he felt himself just stay still and watch carefully. He could sense the presence of something quite unique, something he's never seen before or witnessed. And that made him freeze entirely, wanting to find out what it could be. And he stays, waiting and waiting, until he sees someone's head pop out from underneath the waters. And it's a mermaid, he realizes. Seeing the fins with his enhanced vision, he could see better than any human. And he could tell that you were a mermaid or a creature of the sea at least. But a humanoid one, or at least half so. He felt himself still as he stares at you, and you could only stare back. But as he tried to come up with words, he wondered if he would even understand them. Until, shyly, you swam towards him even more, until you rested at the shore and waved your hands, smiling. Hello? You say, unsure of yourself. You've always had a fascination with humans and their speech, their people and their lives, but you could only wonder about them, never letting yourself stay too close and be noticed by any of them. But this person in particular, you had a feeling that he was unique, and that's why you couldn't help but approach him, deciding to try talking to him, having been so familiar with how humans talked, from how much time you spent listening to them. He stared at you in quiet silence, before raising his own hand in return, waving, as if he was still trying to register what was going on. Hello? Are you a mermaid? But I have never seen one. You chuckled softly, fidgeting. I don't really know any other mermaids, but I've been here for years. I know that you're human. You look like one, but I could sense an immense power from you, so maybe you're not. Who are you? I've never talked to a human before. You ask him, enthusiastic, and a shiny smile on your face. In all honesty, you could melt his heart with such a blinding smile, but he tries to remain collected and smiles softly instead. I'm not a human, but rather an elemental being. An elemental being? I don't really understand how that would work, but either way, I'm so happy to have talked to one. You know, I wish I could have legs and maybe talk to the humans normally and live with them, but I'm happy here, at least for now. Would you come by again? I want to talk to you more. He nods, and that was how your first meeting went. And so for days, weeks, and months, he would come by every day, talk to you, and you would meet by the shore, him on land, and you in the water. He would tell you about the stories, what you did today, educate you more about humans, answer all your questions, until slowly you felt like your hearts were one, like you could not bear to part with him. Like sometimes the only reason you looked forward to the other day was because you wanted to see him. That was the most interesting thing about your day, the most important thing that you wanted to do. So, you knew that you had to tell him your true feelings. You had to tell him just how much he mattered to you and how much you wanted him. And whatever he decides after that, that is his own choice. You could not force him, but surely you will understand the pure feelings that you have, the feelings of pure love. That's how one day he finds you presenting him with some pearls and seashells, and you're blushing, smiling. Neuvillette, I got these for you. They, they are, well, I just wanted to confess and give you these as a token of my love. I hope you like them. I hope that you do not reject me, but if you do, I will still be happy to be your friend. You whisper. You feel so fragile in that moment, praying that not all your hopes are destroyed in an instant. But he just smiles at you, his heart beating faster and faster as he knelt down, cupped your face in his hands. Then I suppose you would want me to do something that humans do, is that not? He nodded, welling up, and he leaned in, kissing you. He had never heard about kisses before, perhaps only from those people passing by on boats and ships, but he had never seen it. And right now, as your lips pressed against his own, you felt like you were in a magical moment, one that you would remember for years to come. And then, you felt it, your scales transforming into skin, and suddenly you had two legs instead of a mermaid tail. I could hear your wish. Your wish is different from others. I could hear it and feel it in the waters of the sea. And right now, I want to grant it to you. You will be able to transform back if you ever so please. But now, you can go on land. You can live by my side and stay with me until the end of time. Because not only was it your greatest wish to live amongst humans, but it was Neuvillette's greatest wish to live alongside you. And in that moment, you got up on wobbly legs, wrapped your arms around him, and he carried you in his arms, taking you to your new home, where the two of you shall stay, loved by each other, as both of you begin a new chapter in your lives.